Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 40-year-old from Ham Lake, Minnesota, USA. His hockey journey took him to the USA, Austria, Sweden, and England, a staple of the Lincoln Stars and Colorado College Tigers, laced up for 396 games in the AHL and 3 actual NHL matches with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's been an assistant coach with the University of Wisconsin Stout, an assistant captain of the Colorado College Tigers, Syracuse Crunch, and Bridgeport Sound Tigers. But he is best known for getting a swollen tongue when he drinks alcohol. Welcome to the podcast, Trevor Frischmon.
Thanks, buddy. That's quite the introduction.
Hey, man, it's been a long time.
I don't like hearing that 40 though.
I know.
That
I
just
can't
happened
believe
like a
you're
week
actually
ago.
40.
Yeah, like as of a week ago.
What'd you do for it? Did you do anything?
Um, yeah, it felt like a week-long celebration. The wife had all sorts of plans for us, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
I was trying to avoid it.
Yeah, that's 40, eh? I can't believe we're this old now. That is
I know,
nuts.
I agree.
So that's getting into how we know each other then is we were rookies together in professional hockey, eh?
Yeah, wonderful Dayton.
Daytona Beach,
It's
Ohio.
quite, it's
And
quite, it's quite the place to play in your first year for your introduction to pro hockey.
yeah, nice location to live and reside, really, eh? Those were nice apartments we lived in, weren't they?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Although, like the springtime during our playoff run, like
We did
we
later up.
made the most of it.
You're right. You're right.
And it
Worked hard,
almost
play
felt like we were
hard.
back in college, sitting outside, and weren't we playing like bags and stuff all the time and
Oh yeah.
drinking beers and
Yeah.
felt like we're in college again.
All the way to the finals. When you have fun,
Yeah.
you win, right?
That's right. That's right.
And I guess you would. I guess since we're getting into how we know each other, you also would have met one of our neighbors, Tommy Gunn, eh?
See, I wasn't around when the first Tommy gun incident happened. So you guys told me about him when I came back, I think.
Yeah, you were
And
called
I was,
up most of the
so
year.
I wasn't a part of the original encounter when I remember getting a call from it was either you or Farney, be like, yeah, our roofs are leaking, or it was probably Core, it was probably Leclerc saying, no, the roofs are leaking, filling up with water. So I missed that whole damn night.
Yeah, well, I guess you were the big time. So that is how we get into how we know each other. As yeah, you were called up
Yeah, the
most of
big
that
time.
season. I was on a one-way AHL deal, and every time I'd get sent down, you'd get called up, or if you got sent down, I get called up, and somehow we were still best buddies, eh?
Yeah.
But seriously,
Yeah.
you took my job, asshole.
Well, you gotta learn how to play on the fourth line.
I know. It wasn't my role.
That's the only reason I was there.
Okay. One thing I want to talk.
I can't score.
Well, you weren't asked to. You were asked to penalty kill and skate really fast, and you could do
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
I didn't really know much about roles until I got to pro, and then I was like, oh, the roles you're asking me to do, I can't do those.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I
true.
was down in Dayton most of the time, and yeah, we met Tommy Gunn. I guess we won't get into that too much of that because you were called up most of the season, and you were on what? You were on a two-way AHL East Coast, right?
Yeah, that first year, and it was, I don't know, I felt lucky to even get that. I mean, I wasn't coming out of college. I mean, once I had a pretty good junior senior year, I felt like maybe I could play a little bit or play for a little while, but it was never like my goal or dream to play in the NHL or something. And
Well, you were kind of old leaving college, right? But hey, we're gonna get into all that.
well, I was
You know
a
what?
21-year-old
I don't want to talk
freshman.
about this yet. We're
All
gonna
right,
we're
all
gonna
right,
get to Colorado College.
all right,
I'm still
all right.
talking about how we know each other, and I want to talk about being rookies together. And I was so happy you were sent down to Dayton during our rookie party because we were rookies together, and that rookie party was something else, wasn't it?
Oh my God. And to be honest, I can remember bits and pieces, but that's about it. And like most things, I feel like my brain is shot and I'm the worst. I was going to tell you beforehand, but I'm probably gonna be a terrible guess because my memory is so terrible. But
That's okay. You'll be fine. I just hope
yeah,
I just hope your tongue swells at least halfway through.
you probably will. Probably will.
I hope so. That's my goal.
If not already.
No, but seriously, the
Um,
rookie party, were we not dressed like girls for the night on the town?
yeah, I remember. Wasn't there like there's like that nice there was a nice part of Dayton,
The
like
new
that little
mall, the new
shopping area,
outdoor
right?
mall, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one
Didn't we go
Mexican bar
there
we'd
to
always go to. Yeah.
didn't we go there to like one of their popular bars or something?
I
Not
think we were,
popular, but
yeah,
it was like one
dressed
of
as
the
women.
bars there.
Yeah, dressed as
Yeah.
women, and we did karaoke. But you know what my favorite memory? Because maybe you remember this, maybe you don't. I bet you do though, and you may pretend you don't. But the next morning at practice, Bruce,
Oh
um,
God. That's
I'll
something we need to talk about too, because I don't even know how I got that name.
Bruce, I actually was thinking about that today, and I'm pretty sure I came up with it. And I have no idea why. I think you just looked like a Bruce, not a Trevor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, so you were Bruce forever. Yeah, you still are Bruce. But that next morning, after the night we were dressed up as girls and went hit the town and sang karaoke, I remember Derek Clancy, our coach, saying to me, "I'm gonna give you a lesson. Like when you have a night like you boys did last night, all the coach wants to see is you handle the puck, you make crisp passes." He says the coach doesn't care how fast you're practicing. He doesn't care how hard you're skating. He wants the
I
passes
do
to be
remember
on.
this.
Yeah. So do you want to tell your side of the story and I'll tell mine after?
No, you keep going.
Okay, because this
I
was the
know where
best.
I know where you're going.
This was the best practices I've ever seen anyone put together in my life. So Clancy tells me that, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, just take your time, make a good pass, cruise around, and you know what? If I was ever not feeling well at practice, I carried that with me my whole career. But Bruce, couple highlights of that practice. Okay. Um, One time I remember you going in on like a flow drill, you're like 3 feet from the net and you shot it over the netting, like hit the ceiling with the shot. Then another time you had to go in, take a snapper, and then pick up a puck in the corner. Well, you're going so fast and you're
Yeah.
crushed that you step on the pucks in the corner and bail into the end wall. I thought you were dead. And then the other one was, it was like the four blues. You pass it across. Anyways, you sailed a pass like right by a guy's face and you were going 100 miles an hour. And then you shot it up over the netting. And I remember laughing at you and getting all the boys to laugh at you. You're like,
Yeah.
what, Wally? You're going half speed out here. I'm just trying to get better. My favorite part though is when you stepped on the pucks and went flying into the end wall and you were going so fast.
Yeah. The funny thing is I'm doing that and I'm like trying to play it off. And I think that Clancy didn't see any of it and didn't even notice that I'm still hammered out here.
It was a fun night.
It's probably one I'd like to forget, to be honest.
I never want to forget that practice ever, because
Yeah.
that was literally the best practice I've ever seen someone put together. Like I've seen some guys out there having a time, but I've never seen guys go that fast when they're crushed. Like just slow down, man.
I didn't smell like Kells out there though, did I?
God, no, that nobody smelled like that guy. That guy stunk so bad.
Yeah, that unbelievable.
He would
I
stink
hope
up
he's
the whole
listening. I
arena.
hope you have him on someday because I think he's a great dude. But my God,
Did
he
he
used
smell?
to stink up the whole locker room. It was unbelievable.
Well, and he would
He's
laugh
a
about it.
legend.
Yeah, no, he would fart and it literally would clear the room and he'd just be
Yeah.
like giggling, but it was like most mornings. Yeah. I'd be interested how he's doing. I'd love to have him on. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
that beer wall and you know what I noticed today looking up your stats. The recruiting team or research team was on it today, but Paul
Oh
Kelly
yeah.
was our leading scorer in the playoffs that year on the route to the finals.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Paul Kelly was our
Oh
leading
my
scorer with
God.
20 points in the playoffs.
Wow. And he can play. He can play.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, man.
he's kind
And
of
he
a
smelled.
freak. He could drink 15 beers every night and then
And
still
then
wake up and be able to play.
and yeah, and play well. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, no, I found it interesting that we were like best buddies on that team. And we kind of like got called up and sent down.
We were enemies and competing.
Yeah, we were real enemies. And you lived next door to me in Dayton with Corey LeClaire.
Yeah.
What a beauty. I've been trying to find him. Haven't had any luck yet, but I hope I can. He was a dandy. And then my roommate,
Yeah, he was.
Brad Farniuk, I think he got, he would get a little, he didn't like how I kept the apartment. He wanted me to be a little cleaner. I was still a little bit of a university guy. He was a little more grown up than me. I'm sorry, Frank, if you're just hearing this now, I'm sorry I didn't keep it that clean. I should have been better.
Oh, you got to have fun.
Oh yeah. You can have everybody on, man. This can go
Yeah,
on
you
for
got it.
decades.
No, he was a good. Farney was a good dude.
Oh yeah, we had a great time.
But you're 100%. You're 100% correct. He was way more responsible than us.
Yeah, definitely me too. But yeah, no, great time we had that year. And then you had Justin Miser, former Potter, episode 28. He was a dandy, and Scott Ford on the other side of our little complex there. And
yeah, he was like our dad.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. I think he was there playing bags though in the playoffs when we thought we were out of it first round.
Yeah. And he was the old one.
Yeah, he ended up having a great career becoming a captain.
He was the old veteran.
Yeah, he became a captain of an AHL team for a long time, and now I heard he's an assistant coach in the AHL. I tell you, those Dayton Bombers, Dayton Bombers, special group of people there, eh?
That is for sure.
Other thing I got for how we know each other, here's the part that really, really gets to me, because there's not many guys in pro that actually came to my hometown and visited me. College guys have, but you actually put in the effort, and on your way home from Syracuse to Minnesota, you would stop in Elmira for at least minimum 2 nights. We'd go golfing. We'd hit the town in our Christmas sweaters. And we had a time. And so yeah, like it's great to see you, and that's why I love doing this pod, man. It's because I get to see guys like you.
I agree. It's the good thing about pro hockey. Is you have all these awesome relationships and meeting all these great guys, but it's hard to stay connected after. So
it really is.
That would be nice to get back together, come back.
Yeah.
Where are you at now?
About an hour and a half from Elmira, Kincardine. It's on Lake Huron, like Michigan's, like, on the other side of the lake.
The Mennonites they run around there too?
Yeah, we got a lot of Mennonites here too. Yep, I actually got the kids out for a horse and buggy ride there about a year ago. We went for a horse and buggy ride when I was getting some welding done. Nice. Same day I played cricket with an Indian family. So yeah, that was a strange day around Bruce County. Horse and buggy ride in a cricket match.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. But no, it's great here.
That was good times, man.
So that would have been 2008, 2009, probably, eh? And then the other thing is, so you came, we did that. You met all my buddies. You met my hometown buddies, and like we were tight. And then your careers just go different ways, and then you don't find a way. Like you're not driving through Elmira when I'm at home, and you just don't see each other again. But one thing you did make it for was back in 2009, you did fly over from Minnesota to Michigan for my Lisa and I's nuptials.
That is true.
Yeah, and I believe your tongue was
And
frozen by the end of that
I think
night.
I made a pretty good appearance at that venue.
I think you let him know you were there. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for making the effort though, man. Like it's interesting, like in the hockey world, man, you get invited to a lot of weddings that aren't close, and there's some you can make, some you can't. And it's like that you made the effort and paid the money and you were there. That means a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, man, it was easy decision back
Okay.
then. I mean, it was a good time. Good time, buddy.
I know it was a great time. Heck of a time. Okay. So that's how we all know each other. And it's been a long time. Last time I saw you was after a match in Coventry. You hadn't played and I was playing for the Cardiff Devils, right?
Yeah.
I saw you for a brief
we
moment.
saw each other in England?
Man, for like, we talked for like 10 minutes after a game and you told me you were having, you know, where you were thirsty or whatever. You told me that story. Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah. Yeah, that shows. I was, well, what, we could get into that later, but yeah, it was a disaster. That was right where I had to call it quits.
Well, we may as well let it flow and just get into it now.
I have little recollection of that time there.
Did you want to just get into it now then? If like we can talk
Oh,
about it.
yeah, I don't care.
May as well let it flow. Cause so basically what I remember is I'm playing for Cardiff and Coventry's got a pretty good team. You guys had Gertzy and that Mora or whatever. And you guys, they were pretty good. And then all of a sudden Todd comes into the Cardiff, the GM there, and he says, Coventry signed an NHLer, like a former NHLer. They signed a former NHLer. And I'm like, oh yeah, like who is it? And he's like, it's Trevor Frischmon. I'm like, Bruce? No way. They signed Bruce.
Former NHLer.
Yeah,
I love how they talk. I love how they talk over there.
No, yeah. So then
no idea.
I heard you were in Coventry, and boy, you had their feathers ruffled when you signed there because you were a former NHLer. But then I saw you after a game, and you didn't play, and then you kind of told me a brief story about how you had to shut it down and you weren't doing well, and that's the last time I spoke with you.
Yeah,
it's weird, man. You tell me shit like that, and then we don't speak again. That's fucked up.
It was just. I mean.
Sorry, dude. I should have reached out.
No, it's fine. It just started I guess the year season before. I was playing in Sweden and got a concussion back in, I don't know, I think it was October, November. So pretty early in the year. And it was a situation where it wasn't really documented, and I didn't even tell the trainers or anything. You know, it wasn't a situation where I was like laid out on the ice or something. I didn't tell them, but I went home that night and I was like, felt like shit. And anyways, I think it was like a day later, we had a day in between games or something. A day later we had a game, and I go out for warm-ups. And I'm skating around warm-ups and I'm so dizzy. I was like, there's no fucking way I can play right now. So I told our trainer after that, I was like, look, like last game I got hit and like I threw up after the game. And like I just went out for warm-ups. I'm so dizzy. It's like I can't
this
play
games back-to-back nights?
Yeah, there was one day in between, I think.
Did you have a practice?
No, we didn't practice. And so it was like the next time, beat on the ice. And so he was okay about it. The coaches were like, oh, weirded out, like, what the fuck? What's going on? And so then I whatever sat out, but it was like ever since then, you know, it was kind of like I was getting the feeling like from the coaches and the GM, like didn't really know like are you really hurt? Like, do you really have a concussion? You know, so I like starting to feel that pressure. And so I sat out for, I don't know, a week and a half. You know, I think I missed 2 or 3 games. And then I started, it felt like I could give it a try. And over there, I mean, like most kind of places in Europe, it's probably better now, but back then or when I was there, it was like there's no concussion protocol or anything. You're ready to play, you can go play. And so I came back too early, and I think it was like my second game back, I got just fucking laid out in neutral zone, and it was like a whiplash hit. Like I did not see the guy coming, and once again I was done. I came back to the bench, and this time I was fucked.
You're totally fucked.
The team doctor was on the bench, and he was like, "Oh, just take a couple shifts off, and we'll see how you feel," basically.
Yeah.
And I think I went out for one more shift, and I think, no, I can't fucking do this.
Well, it's scary,
anyways,
man.
Long story short, so that was, I think that was, I don't know, it was kind of end of November, December. And after that one, I sat out, kept trying to come back. And I finally felt like I could maybe play again, kind of end of January, early February. I came back, played, I think 1 game, 2 games, and I couldn't do it. Like I felt so dizzy, and it was like just noticeable out there that I basically had to tell them, like, look, this is it. And so from that point on, I think it was, like I said, end of January or something. From that point until, I think it was, I don't know, end of September. Like, I honestly did not fucking feel like I could be on the ice. I would go down the ice, especially if there's other guys out there, and I was so dizzy and I couldn't comprehend like all the, the guys skating around. There's just too many,
when your brain
stimulus.
When your brain can't keep up.
And so I never signed another contract or anything that whole summer, and nothing was coming up. And that's when the Coventry thing is like, finally, I think it was like I signed there really late. It was October, November or something. And I finally felt like I have to at least give it a try. And so that's when I signed with Coventry, and I went over there, and I was telling myself that I felt okay, but I think deep down it probably wasn't. And first couple games went well. Like first game, I think I scored and felt pretty good. Third game, I think I took like 1 decent hit, wasn't even bad, and it was like, I can't keep doing this. So I played three games in Coventry, and that's when I was like, I gotta call it quits. And I think it was partially probably the concussions, partially just like the mental aspect. Like there's a lot of situations in Sweden that I'm kind of leaving out, whereas like my anxiety was so bad as like I'm living in northern Sweden in the middle of the winter. It's fucking light out like 3 hours of the day.
And you're not even feeling like part of the team because you got a concussion. And
like I can't play. Like the town is tiny. There's nothing to do. And I'm living by myself. And like I was to the point where I was like thinking like, I'm gonna fucking die in this place. And I had such terrible anxiety. And so I think that it was almost like post-traumatic stress, like when I went back out and tried to play, it's like, I can't do this, So it kind of just ruined it for me. And but I mean, it's not the way that I wanted to end things, because I felt like I still had a year or two, but at the same time, I mean, I was old. I mean, I was coming towards the
you
end
were
anyways.
old when you started pro.
Yeah. I mean,
No, but so may
it
I
wasn't
ask?
like I had 10 years left in me or anything, but
Right.
it's just, I
But
wish
it's
I would
not
have.
the way you want to go out. And
No,
so
no.
my question is then is how did it go then? Because I know we talked after a game in Coventry and you kind of told me what was going on and that you were done
Yeah.
and that you were heading back. Like how were things then when you get home? Because it's already hard for hockey players getting out of hockey with a clear brain, somewhat, let alone
Yeah.
like a guy that is going through that shit, and then you still got to move home and figure life out now, right? Like, was it all right?
Yeah. I mean, it was shitty, but luckily, I mean, my parents, um, I came back and I just moved in with them, and they were pretty supportive. And then I think, yeah, I forget how many months I was there, but I mean, it helped just being with them. And then January or February of that coming next year, I met my wife, and that that helped things a lot. But even then, at that stage, when I met her, I mean, she would tell you like I was still, just the anxiety was the worst thing. It's like I had a hard time like going out to dinner and stuff, or like going to the grocery store. Anytime being around a bunch of other people,
And
it
that's
was,
not the Bruce I know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like in Sweden. I remember like there was like a big outing. Like we went to this like ski town, and I forget what I think it was like right before like the playoffs were starting or something. And I shouldn't even fucking win, but it's like I
Be
gotta
part of
try
it.
and go. It's like I
Yeah.
was miserable. I don't want to fucking sit in this little town by myself. And so I went, and it was like nightclub dancing at night, like loud
Oh, and the
fucking
bound
bar.
and the lights
And
and everything.
oh my God, I'd never been so miserable in my life. And I was like, just I went back to the place we were staying at, and like went laid in bed, but I was like at the same time like having like panic attack, because my anxiety was so bad. But
That's brutal.
I don't know. Yeah, that
No,
was that was that was the dark side of the career,
yeah.
but I'm
Well,
feeling fine now.
well,
So
that's perfect that you're feeling fine now. And
yeah,
I guess that gets us into my next segment of the show because we're gonna. You know what, folks, shit gets real sometimes on this podcast, and you
yeah.
know,
I didn't
you
I didn't mean to make it like a serious
oh
like
no, it's all
no
good, man. This is
sob
this is
session.
real shit, and like
Yeah,
this is what guys go through, and like it sounds like the classic case of you get pressure in Europe and you come back too soon to start it all off. Where if the very first one
yeah,
you
man.
take your time, like it's the same with my knee, man. I was partially it's different than a head, but I was
Yeah,
partially tore and then they tell me to come back early and I fully tear it and it changes my whole career. And you heads are scary, man. Like
yeah,
I
man.
had a bunch of stingers, but not like the real ones, like the throwing up and the not remembering shit. Like those ones are some scary shit.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it's a hard thing because you can't. No one can see it. No one sees what you're going through. And I had before this situation in Sweden. I mean, I had five like documented concussions between like junior before college,
That's
like through pro hockey,
documented.
you
Yeah.
know, and every time it was like normal sit out a couple weeks or a week, and I'd come back and I was completely fine.
It's
But
basically as
this,
soon as you can see straight, you're like, okay, I'm good.
yeah,
That's how it
but
was,
this,
right?
I mean, yeah, but this time it was, I yeah, I don't know if it was kind of the pressure I was feeling kind of enhanced it or what, but yeah, it was bad. And I was definitely not myself and definitely couldn't play hockey anymore. That's for sure.
Well, dude, I'm glad you're feeling better now, and I hope that shit doesn't happen to you anymore. And now that we don't play hockey anymore, I guess that shouldn't
Yeah.
happen. But moving on now, we're gonna get into brighter
Yeah.
times now. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Where and what are you
Yep.
doing now?
Let's move on.
Where and what are you doing now? Because I'm looking at your shirt and it says "Girl Dad."
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Is that what
That's what
you're
I'm
doing?
doing. No, I'm um so I was fortunate family or my mom and dad had a business that I didn't think that I ever wanted to get involved with, but it's the easy option right when you get done playing hockey and especially kind of ending the way I did in the situation I did. I didn't do shit for like a year, by the way. And
Well, you couldn't.
yeah. So I yeah, I started there. But now so it's been, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, and it's going pretty good. But it's a small business, about 20 people or 25 employees, and it's completely different from the hockey world. It's a manufacturing business, and we make patterns and molds for the foundry industry. So anything that is needs to be cast to be made. So like, like a lot of engine parts, like cylinder heads and stuff like that, or a lot of stuff, in the defense industry. So we make the mold that liquid metal or aluminum is poured into, and what's created is a casting. So it's a lot that's way over my head. And but I'm learning as I go, and it's the more I learn, the better it is.
Well, then you
I
get
don't
more
know. I
confidence, right?
enjoy it. I have an older brother that's been there, like he's 5 years older than me. He's been there basically straight out of high school. So he's kind of in line to be the head person to take over for my dad, but my dad wants me to, kind of be the
Right
right
there with
hand
them.
man or
Yeah.
the second in command, you should say.
Well, and that's if you got 20 to 25 employees, I would think you get into the family business. That sounds like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
it's a nice. I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'm not using my college education really at all.
what'd you
Or my
take?
college degree, I should say. But
What'd you take?
what's that
What'd you take?
In college?
Mhm.
Economics. It was the easy option at Colorado College. No, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it was easy because it was far from easy. But Colorado College is a liberal arts school, and I mean, I'm more like a technical. I really should have went to like a technical school, but to
Wow.
be
Sometimes when
to
it
be
comes to
completely
hockey,
honest, it was going more for the hockey. But
well, that's
um,
what every
I mean,
hockey guy does.
I was happy about it being a good school though.
Um,
But
hey, so how old are your kids? What do you got?
1 and 3, I am in
You're
the
in one. I hope your
I'm
head's
in the
feeling good for that.
young kid meat grinder. Yeah, yep. Both my wife and I are ready to pull our hair out, like you've been through. I mean,
Yeah,
you have
two.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 and
Yeah,
6.
I don't have any boys, but yeah, the girls are giving us a run for the money, and but it's fun.
Oh
But at the
yeah,
same
it is.
time, like every night, like I was just scramble to try to get them to bed before this was going to happen because
Wow, it's
it's
that's
rare.
just life, buddy. You'll get used to it now.
Yeah.
They get older, and you're like, I got a podcast. You guys got to go to sleep so I can go out to the
Yeah.
shed. And they do. They support the pod just like Lisa, so it's good. They
Yeah,
let me come out here and I'm so thankful because this is
yeah,
so fun to see you again, buddy.
yeah.
I'm
I
glad.
really, do you have, I know you have one boy. Are they both boys?
Nope, no one of each. I
One of each?
We got
Okay,
Zoe and Colby, yeah, and Zoe's quite the unit
okay.
herself. She's quite the gal. Yeah.
So they both, how old's the young one?
6. Yeah.
6 already?
Yeah, man. 6 and 8.
So they both got to see you play. And
Well, Zoe was like, she was out on the ice with me and we have pictures together, but she wouldn't remember any of that. Colby,
yeah,
Colby has very faint memories where it's like they're
yeah,
fading, but at least there's some videos he can watch where he can see what he used to get to do and go on the ice and see like
yeah,
what the Cardiff
that's
fans
awesome.
would do. Yeah. It was cool, man. When you have kids, you appreciate the fans and like just what they do for you
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
more.
Yeah, that's my only, I shouldn't say regret, but kind of just wish is that
You could do
that
more, right?
like
With
being out on the ice with my girls and stuff. But
right. But yeah,
well, it
it,
wasn't meant to be.
right. You saw there's some guys that play until their kids are like 10 years old and they remember lots of it. Then there's some that hardly remember any of it, but it was a cool experience. But moving on is we got to get into this now is minor hockey and Ham Lake. No, actually, I got a random question first.
You got a what question?
I got a random question here from a
Okay.
former
All
teammate of
right.
yours. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to know why people from Massachusetts are better skiers than folks from Minnesota.
Oh my God.
Do you know what that's about? Are they?
I do. So it must be Reed Goolsby or
I don't know
someone
who
that
that
knows
is.
him. Someone that knows him. Reed Goolsby was a good buddy of mine in college. He
Was
was
his nickname Ghouls?
Goolsby. He's a
Was
mat.
what's his nickname?
He's
Ghouls?
a mass hole. I don't think he had a nickname, if I can
His
remember
nickname
right.
should have been Ghouls or
Yeah.
Ghoulsy. Whatever.
He's a great dude. He is a asshole though. It is, like they're just arrogant. They just think they're fucking the shit out there. um,
So where'd this guy play with you?
at Colorado College.
Okay.
So he was like a class ahead of me. And I think it was after the season, we went to Vale and went skiing, obviously. And it was the night before we were drinking, we were fucked up. And he was talking about how much skiing he's done and like how good of a skier he is and blah blah blah. And I was like, I skied my whole life. Like our family used to always go on trips and stuff to Colorado. And so I was like talking shit back, like, oh fuck, like I will out ski you tomorrow, which I don't know how you judge your skiing. But so the next day after we were each talking shit, like, oh, Minnesota skiers are better than Massachusetts skiers. First run, like we went all the way up to the top, like had to take multiple chairlifts, get to the top. First run, we go down. I am going as fast as I can, just like on the ice, just bombing it. And
You didn't step on the puck, did you?
the snow was like not the greatest. It was like kind of crusty, icy on top.
Yeah, you're gonna
And
blame it
I
on the
make
snow, just like stepping on the pucks.
it's like I make like my second turn and my ski pops off and I start tumbling down the hill. And somehow my ski came up, hit me right in the face, in the cheek, and like sliced me open. I don't know why. Just like pro hockey, my face is just a magnet. So I have this gash in the side of my face. It was literally the first effing run that we did that day. And so it was this guy Reed, and I think it was one of his buddies, and then another another CC guy, Andy Canzanello. Who
Oh,
you know Canzy.
do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
He was just a few episodes ago there, Bruce.
was he?
Yeah, oh, yeah. He was crushed too. Crushed.
Sorry, I'm a new fan of your podcast.
Yeah, no, Canzy came on and he was actually the one I reached out to, and he wants to say hi to you.
Oh. Is he
Because
the one? Is he the one that just sent you the message?
yeah, because he's a beauty. I don't know the other guys you were talking about. I know
Oh, of
Canzy.
course. Of
Yeah.
course.
No,
Yeah.
Canzy's a beauty, and he said you even lived there for a few summers, eh? And he said you, when your tongue would swell, you were a really good karaoke singer in Vale.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Jeez, no, that
Yeah.
sounds fun living in
Yeah, I
Vale
lived
with
with
Canzy.
Canada. We lived there. I lived there like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it was
One of the
great.
best guys in hockey, eh?
Oh my God. He's unbelievable.
He got
The guy
topless
is,
on the pod.
what's that?
He got topless on the pod.
He got topless?
Well, he was 12 beers
Was he?
deep when we started. He's such a dandy. And then he had a guy in the background laughing. Every time we'd say a joke, there'd be a guy in the background laughing. It was
Are you
awesome.
kidding me?
Oh yeah,
Oh
man.
my
It really
God.
added an element to the episode. Okay.
He's still in Bill. So
Yeah.
anyways, back to that story. So that was the first run of the day. And those assholes, Canzy mostly, were like, oh, I think he's concussed, or I think he's and I was completely fine. I just had a cut on my face. And they were trying to get the ski patrol guys to take me down on, like the
The
medical
stretcher
cart.
thing, like on a
Yeah,
snowmobile.
like the stretcher going down the hill. And it's like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. But anyways, yeah. So I skied down, and then I spent the whole day in the hospital waiting to get stitches. And I got stitches in my cheek. And yeah, didn't
I
ski
would
that day.
say the answer to that question would be Massachusettsans are the best skiers.
No, just stop that. No.
Well, it sounds like it. There's only one answer. Okay, moving on. Minor hockey in Ham Lake. What's that like? And then I heard in the US, you guys really play high school hockey. We don't really do that here in Canada.
Well, yeah. And I listened to our pal Miser the other day, and he's talking about Edina. So Edina is like, if you're just loaded, that's the cake eater town.
Edina. Okay, I don't know
in
Minnesota very
Minnesota.
well, so you're
So
saying Edina's the
that's where
cake
Miser
eater town,
is.
but you go to Colorado
I'm
on skiing
in-
trips. So I'm
Yeah.
confused now.
I'm in. Well,
So
yeah,
what town
that was in
goes on
college.
skiing trips to Colorado? Because
I was in college in Colorado. I mean, it was like an hour and a half drive.
Okay. No, actually, where you guys went
But
to
where
school?
I live, where I grew up, it's Ham Lake is the town. Like where I played hockey is Blaine is the city. That's where I live now, Blaine.
You're in Blaine.
And
We never
it
did
is
get
kind
to that.
of it's not Edina. It's more country, more redneck, and more trucks with dual exhaust and stuff like that.
Big tires.
More American flags, flying out the back, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a good place to grow up, and played high school hockey for Blaine, not Ham Lake.
And how big's Blaine?
Well, I don't know, it's a suburb of Minneapolis, and I don't know, it's big. I shouldn't say I'm in the country, because
Okay, so you guys are just all in the suburbs
it's the
of
Twin Cities
Minneapolis.
suburban area. So like Blaine is a suburb, just like Miser's. Edina is a suburb. He's just down in the south, a little bit nicer area. I mean, it's big. But it's not like its own little town, it's a suburb. So you never really know when you're in Blaine or you're not in Blaine.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So you play high school hockey. You guys had some good players on those teams. I saw that. Bochenski
Yeah.
stuff, eh?
Yeah, I was fortunate. We were, or I just grew up with a good group of guys, and Matt Hendricks, who had a pretty good professional career.
He played a bunch of games
Brandon
this show, eh?
Bochenski,
Yeah.
who like I don't know how he didn't last in the NHL. He played some, but then he had like an unbelievable career in Russia. He's just a legend where he played over there. And then Scott Ronfo, I don't know, a handful of guys that played Division One hockey. I think there was probably 6 or 7 of us that played
And this
Division
is
One
all
hockey,
out of Blaine High School.
yeah, all in our high school team, which was just kind of rare. And we won the state championship when I was a senior, which was sweet.
That would be a
So
big deal, eh?
kind of the claim to fame. The Minnesota high school tournament is a big deal, Wally.
I've heard of it. Is that not the tournament where the guys come out with sweet hairdos and come out to
Yeah.
the line?
Yep, that's it. That's it. It's played at whatever they sell, the Wilds Arena, and every game is up until this last year with this COVID shit. Every game is sold out. Yeah, it's nuts.
Sold out in high school, playing in front of that many people.
For a Minnesota kid, it's kind of it's the dream is to play in that tournament. So it was cool.
And you won it. So how is it? One game final, and you won the 1 game final. What was the score?
Yeah, no, it was 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, yeah. Against Duluth East, who was a powerhouse.
Did you have a mullet when you
high
came out to
school
the blue
hockey.
line?
Did I have a what?
A mullet or anything? A good hairdo?
No, I mean, I feel like when I was in high school, I feel like it was like, like writing numbers in your head and stuff. You remember? Did you ever do that? Like
I think
shave
we
your
dyed
number
our
or-
hair
or
blonde.
shave some steps in your hair or something. I think that's what it was for us.
Yeah, I think we
Like
were
the
blonde, bleached.
The whole hair thing wasn't a thing yet.
Okay, after you won that, you go to the Lincoln Stars. How do you end up with the Lincoln Stars? Where's that? Am I supposed to know where that
Lincoln
is?
Stars, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah, I actually went there for like 20 games right after we won the state championship. I went and finished the year with Lincoln for like 20 games. And Lincoln is unbelievable place. That's in the USHL, and just I don't know. I guess I'm not 100% sure what it's like today, but it's when I was there, it was like the best place to play in that league. Like the fan support, and like they know nothing about hockey back then, but they just loved. I think the arena was like on the state fairgrounds, and it was just like a makeshift hockey arena, but it held, I think it was like 3,000, and it was sold out every game, and people were just hammered, and they just put on a show. Like we had this ridiculous like opening light show and stuff where this star comes down from the ceiling. And so it's a pretty cool place to play for junior.
Sure.
And I ended up, so I played like 20 games after my senior year, and then 2 full years after that.
So then you move there and you're doing nothing but just playing junior because you're trying to get a scholarship, right?
Yeah, basically. But in that league, you either need to be in high school still, which I wasn't, or you need to work, or you need to take college classes.
Okay. What'd you
So
do?
I think my first year, I took a few college courses. And then second year I worked at Hy-Vee, and I worked at a liquor store. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, so then when do you get recruited to Colorado College?
in
What-
that second year, my second year of junior, I mean, I was like throughout my junior years, I mean, would be talking to schools and stuff, but no one was offering me, you know, like no one was like begging me to come there and like, we'll give you a full ride or anything. It's just like, hey, we're interested, you know, like keep playing well kind of thing. Um, and so, yeah, it was like my second full year is when Colorado College, you know, kind of offered me or would like seem more interested.
And that's your
Because they were
last
one of the
year. But you're
ones.
kind of old at
Yeah.
that point, right?
Yeah, I was 20. I mean, that was my last. You can't play past, you know,
That
20,
year.
21 or whatever.
By the way,
obviously.
we were talking
And,
about the conkies there. Last beer, which was a navigating lieutenant. This one here is a Thresher Belgian whip beer.
it's a what? Thresher?
Thresher is the name. Yeah, from this are my sponsor, the Bayfield Brewing Company.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's a local brewery?
Yeah, they're about 40 minutes down the road, right down the lake.
Nice. I like those. I like those local breweries.
Oh man, these
We
these
got a
guys are
lot of-
making the
we have a
best
lot of
beers.
them around here too.
Well, these guys are making the best beers for like the little breweries around. The other ones, like I can maybe like try one beer and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. And I can do like one or two of them. These ones, I like everything they've given me, and apparently I can
Yeah.
drink them in bulk.
Yeah, I might have to go get a refill here in a minute.
Okay, well then you can ask me a question while you go get a refill, eh? But moving on, is you get recruited to Colorado College. Did you get a full ride for 4 years?
No, I got, I forgot. It was like a half scholarship my first year.
And you played in the
And-
NHL.
Yeah. It was like, and they had and I didn't commit to them until kind of like the springtime, you
As a
know.
20-year-old.
Yeah.
And you played in the
was late.
NHL.
Yeah, it was late. I was not like highly recruited. And I
Is
don't
it
know, like,
because
one
of the
their big
type
se-
of player you are?
one of their big selling points was like the class that they already had. And it turned out to be like completely true because, well, for one, they're all great guys and they still some of my best friends, you know. But there was like we had a big class. There was like 7 or 8 guys already committed for the coming year. And so they were like, you know, like you have a chance to be a part of like a really good class, you know, one of the best we've had in a long time. And it turned out to be true. And
So you're with
it ended up
Sertage and
being a
Sterling?
great decision. And we was I don't know. It just ended up being a great decision and turned out good for me.
Well, that school, that town, that was the nicest place I ever played college hockey. Like we got there and I was like, where the hell am I? There's mountains everywhere. You got a
Yeah.
beautiful rink. I'm like, these people live here all the time.
And now maybe you heard it. Now they're getting a fucking rink on campus.
They need a better rink than the one they already had.
Yeah, well, the one they had, which was awesome, was like the city arena. Now it's kind of controversial because that place held like I think 7,500 or 8,000 or something, and when we were good, it was always sold out. But now they built looks like a pretty awesome arena, but right on campus, which I thought never would happen. And I think it's like a 3,500 or 4,000 seat arena. So it's not
how far was
it's not overly
campus?
huge, but it's brand new.
How far was
What's that?
campus? How far was campus to that old arena?
Like 5-10 minutes.
That's
Not
it.
far. Yeah.
So they're gonna have a
Not far.
smaller rink.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is nice. I mean, to be right on campus, because like driving to practice and like, I don't know, for schooling and whatever, meals and shit like that, sometimes driving was a pain in the ass, but
Well,
I didn't mind it, but it will be nice for the upcoming guys to
on
whatever
campus. Yeah.
have it right on campus. And one of my classmates, Mark Stewart, he got the assistant job. So
Oh, he's working for Colorado College now?
yeah, he got the assistant job. But
Fun.
he's one of the guys that's in my class,
Well,
like my freshman class.
fun fact is it's weird how like your buddies were my buddies and my buddies were your buddies.
Yeah, wasn't he a good buddy with Weidman?
Right. So I went to
Yeah.
Weidman's wedding, and fun fact was I did not make it back to my hotel room that evening. I actually woke up fully dressed in my suit in Mark Stewart's room, and he was naked.
I think we talked about this.
Yeah, that was like when I like the first night I ever met him, and then I woke up like, and I was like, oh, guess I fell asleep here. Better make it back to my room now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like it's weird because you're buddies with Stu, and then like Canzy, and like it's just interesting how like when you start a podcast, it's the same circle of friends that all seem to hang out. And you also know Blair Riley.
Oh yes, Riles.
He was also a Potter.
Great dude. Where did you play with him?
I didn't. I just ran around naked in front of him as a pregame speaker.
What?
So it's a long.
What's that story?
It's a long story.
All right.
Yeah. Cardiff had a night for me. I went over there and scared them all and jumped out of a closet naked. And,
when he was playing there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're kind of a Cardiff legend. I've been seeing you.
No, I don't know.
You have to tell me all about that some other time.
Yeah, someday. Okay. Moving on. You do have a good team. Great class. You got that Stewart, who obviously has a great career, but you also have two Hobey Baker winners while you're there.
Yep.
You guys are quite the unit.
I was fortunate. It was I don't know. I hate to say like the best time of my life because I was happy at multiple places. Like Dayton was a happy time in my life. But,
did you say Dayton was?
Yeah, it was.
It was, right? It was. We had fun, didn't we?
It was fucking hilarious. Yeah.
The whole thing was like a comedy show.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe like the first day I walked in. They bring me up to their equipment room, so-called equipment room.
Hell of a room. Yeah.
It's like I'm asking for a stick. I'm just coming from Colorado College using like Easton Synergies.
The best sticks you can buy. Yeah.
Yeah. They pull out. I don't even remember what the shaft was.
Like a used stick.
It was a 2-piece. And then they pull out some blades that I don't know. I don't know how long they've been sitting there, but they were wood blades. And I was like, this is what you're giving us.
Yeah, it was quite the time.
Might have to go to a local sporting goods store.
We did make it to the finals with that stuff though.
Yeah, right. But yeah, back to CC. Yeah, like my first year, we were like, I don't know, we were good the entire year. I think we were ranked number one in the nation, which I don't know, half the year or something. My first month, I think I played maybe once or twice, and then by the end, I was playing all the time. I was fourth liner, of course, but I was getting to play. And we ended up in regionals as number 1 seed for like the NCAA tournament. We got put in Michigan. And of course, they have like whoever hosts gets to play in their home arena. And Michigan, I think Michigan was the 3 seed. They weren't as good as they usually are. And so we ended up playing them the regional final at Yost. Did you play there before?
Oh
You probably
God,
played
yeah,
there a
we
lot.
got
Yeah.
dominated there
Yeah. So
every
that's where
time.
we played. So my freshman year, that's where we played our regional final at Yost. And I don't know. We ended up losing, obviously 3-2, but it was shitty. That was like most disappointing part of our college career in a way, because we were good.
Yeah, I
And
think that was the year I played against.
that's all I can say. And I don't even remember. I think we lost only like 6 or 7 games that year. Um,
Well, you look at
and
your
then
roster, man. That was a hell of a team. Like,
yeah, that year, Peter Sena won the Hobey Baker, and Tom Pricing. I think he scored 22 goals as a defenseman,
yeah,
something like that, in college.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got
It was
Surdich, you
mostly
got
our
Sterling.
power play was ridiculous. Yeah. I was not a part of it. But yeah,
I bet you the penalty killing was good too, though.
yeah, penalty killing was good. Penalty killing was good. But yeah, it was a good time. And then, I mean, every year we were okay. My junior year, um, we were real, real good again. Probably not as good as that first year, but we ended up going to the Frozen Four that year. But we
Was
got
that the year
fucking,
Surdich wins the Hobey?
yeah, that's the year
Yeah, because
30,
we're the same
31.
class, and that was the year I got 50 points, and then like I was up in like the running until my team won like 7 games.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, well, yeah, we are the same. We're the same class.
Yeah, because we were rookies together, you
Even though I'm a couple
donkey.
years older.
Exactly, you're old as hell.
Old
So
as
then
balls.
the
But
other
yeah,
guy,
so sir, yeah,
there's
30
another
won that
guy.
year.
There's another
What?
guy on that team we haven't even talked about yet. That was on our team at Daytona Beach. Jojo.
Oh, Jojo. So Jojo was a senior when I was freshman
Oh,
that year.
really? He's that old?
Yeah,
But he's the
yeah,
same age
but
as you.
he's not. He's only like a year older than me. He went there as a true freshman. And so yeah, he was when I was that freshman year that I was talking about. Yeah, JoJo was senior.
You,
And
you know what just crossed my mind? I'm gotta say this right now though, is that guy
what?
goes there as a true freshman, and I think he might have been drafted or whatever, but he's in the AHL right out of college, and he's real close to making the show. But then there's you that goes to school on a partial scholarship as a 21-year-old, and then you end up actually playing games in the NHL.
Yeah, yeah,
It's crazy
kind
how it
of
works for different people, right? Because when you go to Colorado
been
College, the
messed up.
last thing on your mind is you're going to play in the NHL, right?
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't even crossing my mind. I mean, it didn't seem like something attainable, you know.
No.
I definitely was not thinking about it. I remember like all I wanted was to play Division One hockey. That was like my first goal. I wanted to play in the WCHA, because that's, like all the Minnesota schools. I wanted to play like around home and be able to come around home all the time. But yeah, once you whatever keep playing, you start realizing that, well, maybe you can. Like you start seeing some of your buddies playing, and you start seeing, you actually might be good enough to keep playing a little bit. Yeah,
No, it's cool how you did it, man. You stuck with it and you worked hard and you gave her every
yeah,
practice.
yeah. It takes a lot of luck, dude.
Okay,
Luck at the right time.
moving on now. We're done with Colorado College. You guys didn't win it all. You blew it.
We didn't win it all. We lost in the Frozen Four to fucking Denver.
Well, you guys had an incredible team. You see the players you had, and then you have beauties too. Like they're not just good players, they're great dudes. Like that Mark Stewart seemed like a great dude. I've never heard a bad
He's
word about
great,
him.
dude.
And then you got Canzy. You
Oh my
got
God.
like there's just yeah, you guys must have been having fun. But
Canzy's a one of a kind. You got to go visit him out in Vale.
I really need to.
He's
You need
like
to
the
listen
mayor.
to the podcast with
He's
him
the
because
mayor. He could be the mayor of Vale.
really?
Yeah, he knows everybody.
No, but like he
Everybody.
would know everybody, and he's a beauty, and he will talk to
Yeah.
everybody. And like the
Yes.
podcast with him it was so much fun. Those
I
two
gotta go back.
hours
I gotta
were
go back and
incredible.
listen to it.
Oh God, it was incredible. Like it's hilarious because the people that listen to this podcast are a lot of UK listeners, and Andy Canzanello, folks, if you have never listened to that pod, listen to that one because it was an absolute circus. Absolute circus. He showed up 12 beers deep at. God, we had a time though. We had so much fun, man. It was like he is the best guy, and he invited me out. He said I was coming out to Vale. Like you said, you lived with him for 3 years, and he's that good of a dude that he's the type of guy you want to be around, right?
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. What are your pro options after being a fourth liner in college? And I'm going P. I already know this part, so just keep talking about your pro options.
You know
I
this
already
part.
know.
Well, so I guess I don't know, sometime during my senior year of college, I started talking to just this random guy that says he's an agent, but he's not some high profile agent. But anyways, I started talking to him, and he ends up getting me a two-way deal with Syracuse and Dayton, and it was surprising, I guess, that he was able to do it. But anyways, so I go to Syracuse, and I'm on a two-way contract, but I'm on like the lowest. I think the minimum you can get in the AHL portion of my two-way. And so Ross Yates and Trent Call, get out there for practice or whatever, they have no fucking clue who I am, obviously. And I'm not a draft pick. I'm on a two-way contract. And I don't know, I guess went from there, and I guess I kind of opened their eyes a little bit and thought that maybe this guy could do something for us or something. Anyways, long story short, I get sent down to the Daytona Beach, and yeah, I don't even remember how long.
You want to know
Like,
what happened?
well, you stayed in Syracuse, and then you came down. I took your spot. Is that what happened?
Do you want to know what happened? No, actually, I think it was Jeff Swez actually that took my spot.
Yeah,
I was there on an AHL one way because they didn't want me because they decided I was not in shape enough after my senior year that they wanted first crack of signing me July 1st to an NHL deal. Then they saw me and said, we don't want him at all, but they guaranteed me an AHL deal. So then they got stuck with me. They didn't invite me to rookie camp. I wasn't allowed to do, but then I get to go to main camp for exactly 48 hours. Show up, and I've lost 25 pounds. I've got like abs. I look good. I'm fast, but that's not how I played hockey. I used to like reverse hit people, and instead I was like a skinny little guy. But anyways,
yeah.
I'd had a really good preseason. I had like over a point a game. And then the first game of the regular season comes around, and everybody gets sent down from Columbus, and they're like, this has nothing to do with how you're playing. But you're not a third, fourth liner, so you're not going to play tonight. I'm like, all right. So I get a couple nights off. And then they're like, well, we better get you into some games. We're going to send you down for 2 weeks. Then you'll be back up and you'll play in the top couple lines. And then eventually they're just like, well, you're not playing on our top couple lines because they're all like first, second rounders. And you can't play third or fourth line. And they're like, you're going down, and maybe we'll see you later this year. And I'm like, okay, smell you later. and then you went up, and we switched, and you were up most of the year, and I cheered you on, man, because I want good dudes to do well.
Yeah.
I really didn't really enjoy those coaches. I didn't think they did much coaching, but I was proud of you
I
for what
thought
you
they,
did out of that contract, man. There's not many guys that go out of college after a partial scholarship, then show up with the deal you had of an East Coast AHL deal of like the bare
yeah,
minimum, and then end up working their way up to be an assistant captain of the AHL team and getting a few show games, eh?
yeah, I don't know. I got some lucky breaks along the way, but yeah, I mean, I could always skate, so that was my strength.
As long as
So
long as the pucks weren't in the
so
corner.
a lot of time, yeah, don't give me the puck, but just let me skate.
No, I mean after rookie
But I mean,
party.
I think if you skate fast and you can just play really simple and fucking penalty kill and do stuff like that, for some reason, pro hockey that fits in for the fourth line.
No,
And
I agree. And I didn't know that
yeah,
much about roles. Like I said, like I would always just put in the role of like power play, whatever. And until you get to pro and they're like, well, you're not going to play on those lines. You got to learn how to play this. And I'm like, well, and then they're like, well, you're too
yeah,
little. Like you can't play this role. You got to go down to the
yeah,
coast. And then I never even, like you said, the NHL not being attainable. I knew after a year it wasn't attainable. And I was like, I got to
yeah.
go.
I never knew the whole like role thing was a thing either until, like probably that first or second year of pro hockey. It's just like, I guess you gotta, every
Play
guy kind of has
roles.
their thing. It's like, I'm not
Yeah.
ever gonna fucking be a first, second liner. Probably, I'm hard. I don't think I was a first, second liner in the coast, but
You weren't.
you can still, you can still play a pretty damn good third, fourth line at
Exactly.
any
But
level.
the thing is what makes teams win is having a great third line and a guy that can skate fast, kill penalties. And then teams
Right.
notice what makes teams win. And it's not always the first line guys scoring the goals. It's the third line guys shutting down the other team's top line. And that
That's right.
playoff run, man, we had you on the third line. We had Paul Kelly. And then you had Yannick Tifu. And you know who I don't know if you'd
Oh
remember
my God.
this, but I got called up to Syracuse near the end of the year, and I hadn't been there like at all, but I had got to
Yeah.
know Philippe Dupuis quite a bit, Dupes, and he was a
Yep.
good dude. And I went up
He is a
there.
good dude.
They called me up near the end of the year, and somehow we're having beers, and I convinced him to come to Dayton for the playoffs. And by the end of the night, he's like, well, let me talk to my agent. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to go back to the coast for the playoffs because he'd only played like 6 games. And I was like, no, seriously, man, come play with us. Like, we got a chance, but we need you. We need another centerman. And he came down and played with us. And he really
Yes.
probably shouldn't have if you look at his resume, but that's how you almost win, right? You need some recruiting.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
But
Hilarious.
thanks, Dupes.
Yeah.
Thanks for
The
coming
dupes.
down
Have you
to
had him on
Daytona
yet?
Beach. Huh?
Have you had the dupes on
I
yet?
haven't figured out how to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
There's, there's so many guys, man. It's like
You remember
I'm living week to week now. It's like, what makes sense this week,
what about LaBelle?
What about him?
You remember him?
I do.
I ended up playing I ended up playing with him in Austria too.
How was he there?
The same.
Um,
The same.
he was my roommate in the hotel for a bit, in Syracuse. And,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure how you'd put it, but I guess you'd say he bullied me. He would put on French soap operas on the
Are you
TV.
kidding me?
I'm not kidding. This was part of the
Oh my
darkest
God.
time of my life. I'm getting healthy scratched in the AHL, and I'm getting bullied by a younger
Oh
French guy
my
with like
God.
a blonde perm. But he would tell me, he's like, you got like a video game you can play. He's like, I'm watching this. And I'm like, but dude, like we both know English. I don't know French. And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
we're gonna sleep right beside each other tonight, and like you're in your bed and I'm in my bed. We're roommates, and you're
I
treating me
could,
like this. And he was a right winger, and I was a right winger, and he got the AHL job that year, and he was one of the biggest douchebags I've ever met. So cheers, bud.
and you are 10 times the player.
Well, Ross Yates didn't think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but like that guy actually was one of the biggest dickheads I've ever played hockey with. The way he treated me in that hotel room was incredible. And you know what? I was happier.
That's unbelievable. I never knew that.
No, I was happier in Dayton playing with good dudes
I
like
didn't,
Justin
I didn't
Miser.
ever hang out with the guy, but
No, I know. And then you played with him for that long. Yeah, no. But anyways, we got it out there now. I've never brought that one up before, but yeah, that guy was he wasn't nice. He was just like, he was like a bully, and he was like 20 years old, and I was like 24, and he was like, "You're not watching the TV. I'm watching French soaps." And I'm like,
yeah.
sounds awesome. Oh
Yeah.
boy, looks like Frisch is making a move for the fridge or the toilet, so we're not sure where to go here. Oh, he's back. Girl
Nope, I'm
Dad's
back.
back.
I
Here
do
we
need to
go.
go.
Next question.
I
You
do
got
need to
called
go.
up instead of me. 33 games played, 0 goals, 7 assists. You know? And then
What? What? I missed what you just said.
oh, nothing. I was saying the year in Dayton, you're up like most of the year. You had 33 games played, 0 goals.
I had 0 goals.
That's what it says. That's
I
what
don't
it
think
said.
that's accurate.
I don't know. Maybe you might have
How did
mixed in one.
how did I have 0 goals in 33 games?
Well, I don't know. You
That
played in the
can't be
NHL
right.
like 3 years later.
That's ridiculous.
You better
Where are you
look
getting
it up. But no,
Where
seriously.
are you getting your stats?
No, but you had a great playoff drive. We almost win the championship. So what happens the next year? Because you play 7 games for the Charlotte Checkers. Do I remember correctly? You didn't sign with Syracuse. You went to Charlotte, and then they were like, we want you back. And then you went back.
Yeah, I think it was the situation. Yeah, I didn't sign with whatever Syracuse, Dayton. I don't even remember Dayton even exists that next year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 But I think I went to Syracuse like camp. They let guys go to camp or whatever. And my buddy Ross Yates and Trent Cole, I think they obviously liked me still. And they were just kind of like, just go play somewhere. You'll be one of the first people we look to call up or whatever. So I just wanted to go somewhere fucking after being in Dayton. I wanted to go somewhere nice.
And yeah, I agree.
And so Charlotte was a great option. Like playing there was unbelievable. Like the difference there compared to what we were at Dayton is unbelievable.
It's incredible how different life can be in the East Coast.
Oh my
remember
God,
when we went to Florida? Do you remember when we went to Florida
God.
And you saw how they lived?
Yeah, we're like kids in like a candy store. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what you guys have. It's like we made the most out of Dayton, but like, Christ,
but we
some of these places on the coast are nuts.
Oh, Idaho! Remember Idaho in the finals? How nice that was.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know anything about Idaho, and it was incredible. Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, we used to get like 200 people in the stands in like a 18,000 seat arena. It felt like for our games. It's unbelievable.
No, you're right.
But yeah, so I went to Charlotte, and I don't even remember how many. I didn't play that many games. And
you played 7 games on the coast, then went back to Syracuse. You want me to tell? I'm going to tell you what happened. You went there for 7 games with the Charlotte Checkers, and then you get called up, and then you are a full-time AHLer. You play 59 games with Syracuse, and you're a full-timer now, right?
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. No, like I'm proud of you,
Yeah.
man. You kept grinding. Like I was already in Germany at that point, and you kept grinding. But like two guys I wanted to bring up of your year when you become a full timer are two guys I remember from my time in that organization. Zenon Kenopka, because
Oh
he was
my
an
God.
absolute animal, right?
He's unbelievable. Yeah. He's probably the best, not the best guy, but the best leader I have ever played with. And I know like his style is not for everyone, but for me, the guy was fucking, he's just a warrior. He's unbelievable.
He
And
he get right in guys' faces too, eh?
oh God, yeah. And like the one year, like we were pretty good. And we went on I don't even remember what the number was. I think it was like 18, 19 games in a row, like win streak.
Really?
And yeah,
With those
like
coaches?
yeah, yeah, same coaches.
Sucks. That sucks.
Towards the
Sorry.
end of the year. And he came up with this, I don't know, like when that streak first started, I think it was like the second game of that streak or something.
Woolen chop.
He came up with some. My wife is high.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Just gummies, I hope.
Sorry. I'm getting distracted.
Is she eyeballing you?
Yeah.
I'd like to meet her.
Justine, you want to come meet?
Yeah, I've
Wally?
never met her. I've never
come
met
meet 'em.
Bruce's wife.
All right.
Kanzy's wife, Kate, came on and met me. I've never met
Maybe
her.
she'll come. Maybe if she
Well,
can.
we'll work our way into it. I'll
Uh,
try and make some good jokes, try and be cute and
Yeah.
funny, and maybe then she'll come on, say hi, maybe.
But Kenopka, so I was saying like at the start of this streak that started, he came up with this thing of every game we win, whoever, is the player of the game, whoever gets the hard hat, you chisel a number you remember the old Syracuse locker room. You went to, what's his name? Rodney.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
equipment manager.
Like, give me a hammer and a screwdriver. Rodney's like, what for? And Kenopka is just fucking nuts. Just fucking give it to me. And so Rodney's like peeing his pants and just gives it to him. Well, so every time we'd win, whoever get the hard hat was supposed to like chisel the number game that it was. So by the end of this thing, like that locker room was fucking destroyed. There is like chisel marks in the concrete, like your background there, like a 1, a 2, a 3, like honestly around the locker room. But it was like shit like that. Like he was unbelievable. And then he started like this. Oh, if we win this one, then everybody's going no helmets and warm-ups, which we won. So everyone's no helmets and warm-ups. Okay, next one, everyone wins. We're going no shoulder pads. It's like, what the point is no shoulder pads is, I don't know. But yeah, after that one, then I think it was Ross or somebody or GM or somebody stepped in and was like, you gotta stop this bullshit or whatever.
Stop having fun. This is North
Yeah,
America.
but
Minor pro.
yeah, it
Stop
was
having
fun. It was a good run. Good dudes.
No, man, that guy was a good dude. And then the other guy I got written down because I've seen what he's done and I saw what he could do in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Joachim Lindstrom.
Oh God.
The filthiest little mitts around, eh?
Oh my God, he's unbelievable. He was a great dude, great friend. Haven't seen him forever, but yeah, he's just this, like a typical Swede. The nicest guy in the world, but he still likes to have fun and just like you said, just the filthiest hands in the world.
For me, it was weird to see because like for where I was at in hockey, it was like in the East Coast, I was like a top line guy. In the AHL, I couldn't make it, so I'm like, I don't fit. And for him, he was too good for the AHL, but in the NHL, like he just didn't quite stick on the top two lines, and he wasn't a third or fourth liner, but he was
Yeah,
so fucking good.
yeah. No, that's true.
It's just
It
like
is
what he
crazy.
was
It's
doing was in between
crazy
the
to me how
NHL,
he wasn't
AHL.
good enough to play. Well, I think Columbus was shitty too. I mean, how do you not just
Some
like
of the
at least,
decisions they made, like,
yeah, like how do you not just like give that guy a chance? I don't
and
even remember
especially with
him.
some of the players they had, you're like, you guys
Yeah,
are
I don't remember
brutal.
him. I don't remember him getting like a great chance, like to play with some good guys. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Never. I don't think he ever did, and that's why. Yeah.
But
Anyways,
then you watch him go to Sweden,
the
and he
Swedish
like
elite
let
league, and he's leading the league in scoring every year, and you're like,
every
well,
year. Yeah.
every year, but he probably enjoyed his life and career a lot more in Sweden, anyways, than that. I found
Yeah.
I found the AHL toxic, and you're like a team dude. You the way you live your life and the way we were. I'm
It
surprised you
was
lasted that long. The meat grinder.
you're right. It is. It's kind of cutthroat. It's like you're playing with
They're not even
guys that you're
teammates,
in
man.
like
They're not even
you're
teammates.
playing with guys, but like you're in competition with them at the same time. And it's like,
It's
I
not
don't know.
fun.
I never felt, I don't know. I guess because I didn't think that I
Making it.
wasn't like a draft pick. I wasn't thinking like I'm gonna be next guy in line to move up. I was just happy to be there. But yeah, there's so many guys that aren't happy to be there.
No, and they're just dickheads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Uh,
Moving on. I'm not sure where we're at now, but
I don't
we,
know.
we were in Dayton. You went to the second year. You're with Charlotte for 7 games. You become a full timer, and then yep, that's where we're at. So then by the third year, you must assign just another straight one-way AHL deal because you play 80 games, 25 points.
Second.
Third year,
Say that again.
I don't know. Third year in Syracuse, man. Like the third year being
Yeah.
part of the Columbus organization, you play 80 games, all with
Yeah.
Syracuse.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think so the like the Charlotte year, then I got called up, and I think they ended up signing me to, I don't even remember. They signed me maybe to like an AHL deal once I got called up, and I was there for a while. But then the following year, I actually got an AHL deal, like just a one-way AHL deal with Syracuse. I think the year after that, I got like the same thing. And then the year after that, I think I got like a two-way NHL, AHL deal. And then
Well,
I was like,
why
then I
don't we
was really
talk about
on my
that?
element.
So
And I was like I was going to NHL training camp. I was like, what the hell am I doing?
are you still with the same coaches that whole time? Did they last that long?
Yeah, I think, like I said, there goes my memory again. But I think that Yates and Ross Yates and Trent Cole, I think they were the whole time. I think so. Yeah.
Well, because they liked you, like they did, and like you
Yeah.
filled a
Yeah.
role, and they liked
I
you.
mean, it was different, different general managers and shit, but yeah, I think those guys were the whole time. I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. No, I mean, that was the thing. They, they like me, and
that's
that's
all
kind
that
of what it
matters.
takes, you know, and in hockey,
It sure is.
that was the lucky part.
I don't think that's
In
luck.
that, in
No,
that,
you
I
were
swear to God, that damn newspaper guy. Do you remember him? Uh, Lindsey Kramer.
no, I wasn't there
Uh,
long enough.
yeah, but I don't know. He liked me for some reason, and
And
he
he'd
was
write
always like,
good things about you in the newspaper.
yeah, he was always, and I honestly think it helped. He was almost like he was constantly like writing like positive things and like calling me out and stuff. And I think that, I don't know, I think it helped.
Well, I think you were just a good teammate and you just worked your way into it because you didn't think you were going to make
Yeah.
it. You're just being a good dude. And there's a lot of guys that are sour in the AHL. There's a lot of guys that feel like they're the happiest guy in the world that they're in the AHL. There are so many different guys with different emotions, and man,
Yeah.
I hated it. I really
I
did.
never even thought of it like that, but you're right. You're right. It was.
The guys that thought they
It's
were entitled,
100% like that.
yeah, there's guys that were entitled, like Sergei Fedorov's brother. Remember when he was there? Were you there for
Oh
that?
God. Yeah.
That
Yep.
guy thought he was just the cat's meow.
Yep. And it's all these, like the young guys that remember Filatov, or were you gone?
I wasn't
Russian
around for
guy?
him, but I know who you're
Like
talking
they're
about.
like the first round draft picks and stuff come down. It's like
Yeah.
they get every single opportunity
They're gonna
they
be
can
first
possibly
power
get.
play for months. Whether
Yeah.
they
And
whether they turn it over at the blue line every time, they're
yeah,
gonna be on the first power play every time for
that's
months
right.
until eventually the AHL coach is like, seriously, I can't do this. Like
Yeah. I'm
that's what
not
they have
playing
to
this
do.
fucking guy anymore. He's
Yeah.
terrible. Uh,
And instead, like for me, it was like Lindstrom would like I remember one time I'm skating up with Joachim Lindstrom. He turns the puck over at the blue line, and the coach yelled at me for not getting it deep. And I'm like, I didn't even have the puck. And then I never played the rest of the night. And I was like, well, this league
isn't
sucks.
isn't that the way it goes?
But no, hey, coaches like who they like. And
Yeah.
I like you. I'd like you if you were on my team and I was a coach too.
Oh, well, thanks,
So
Wally.
4th year, here we go. This is what I really want to know about. I
Yeah,
don't. Okay, ready?
I'm
You're an
ready.
assistant captain in the AHL. I bet you got to be 37 by now, maybe 54. Not sure.
37.
Well, how old are you, man? You left college at like 30, and
I'm like
now you're in your
30.
5th year pro. What? I'm
I
just
was
kidding. I'm kidding.
24.
Just trying to get your brain in a blender here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really confusing me.
No, I'm just kidding. You were 25, 6-ish leaving college, and now you're in your 4th year pro. So I want to know about getting the call to the NHL. That's what I want to know because I was with you in Daytona Beach. I was playing bags with you in Daytona Beach, thinking we're getting put out first round. We may
Yeah.
as well have some beers, get some sun, and enjoy our last couple days together. And then
Hey,
next thing you know, we're in the finals.
yeah, hanging out with Carly and what's the other girl? Your girlfriend?
What are you talking about?
Uh yeah, I guess it was, I think it was after we played Friday, Saturday
Or are
in
you talking about those
Syracuse.
people that lived above us?
Yeah.
Oh, the girls that came down to play beanbags there at the end of the year. I was trying to figure out what you're
Yeah.
talking about. I
Yeah.
gotcha. No,
You don't remember that?
I do remember though. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember all of that in Tommy Gun around the corner. It was quite the neighborhood. My God,
Quite the apartment complex.
it really was. There was
I'm getting
there was a lot.
cheesy. You introduced me to the cheesy gordita crunch, and it's still amazing.
I mean, Taco Bell's still making them. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
help you be a pro, but you did make it. So what's
Yeah.
it like when you get the call to the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah. So I think it was, we just played Friday, Saturday night in Syracuse. So it was Saturday night. Usually it's like time to go out and get fucked up and let loose. And so we're out at one of the bars that are in Syracuse. And remember this, yeah, I got a call from Chris McFarland. He's the assistant GM, and he's just like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing, just out with the guys. It's like, you're getting called up. They're gonna, so and so will call you. You're gonna have a flight in the morning. We're playing that night. It's like, great. So it's a Sunday, like not matinee, but I think it was like 5 o'clock game in Chicago. He's like, you're playing. So it's just like immediately like shit in my pants. And it was like I was drinking a beer at that point. And I don't even remember. I don't think I was like 10 deep at that point. I think it was still pretty early, but I did not finish that beer and I went home and
Got ready
tried
for
to
your NHL
like
debut.
pack the bag and like tried to get my head straight. Called mom and dad and yeah, just kind of was in disbelief, and then was talking with my agent and stuff. My
How
agent
old are you at
happened
that
to live.
age?
I was I think I was 29.
Your NHL debuts at 29?
Yeah, 28 or 29. 28 maybe.
Yeah, that's still
I don't
really
know.
old,
I
dude.
don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what
Think about
year.
if there's any
I was
players
20.
making their
I was
debut.
24 when I left college.
That's what I mean. Think about if there's any players making their debuts at 28, 29 anymore. That's
Yeah,
when guys are
yeah, it's not.
retiring.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so fly to Chicago of all places, played my first game there, and I've never been so nervous in my life. Like before, like I get to the airport, go to the team hotel and stuff, and it's like I did not hardly sleep at all. And like I think I joined up with like the team meal, and I just like got my taste of that, which is just insane. Um, and then I think I went into hotel room with one of the guys I remembered who the hell was, and like got like a little bit of a nap, and then kind of just joined the team after that. And like they had their snack session, right before you get
Are
on
you
the
playing with
bus.
something with your hands? You getting all
Yeah, is it
handsy
driving
down
you
there.
crazy?
Yeah, stop it. Put it
The
away.
pen.
Put it away.
Sorry.
Put it
Sorry.
away. Back off.
Sorry. Sorry, boss.
You getting handsy on me.
Um, yeah, because I need to go and get another beverage.
No, you're right.
Anyway, so I yeah, join up with the team, go to the rink, and from there on in is like I was shitting my pants. But it was pretty
So,
cool. It was pretty cool.
how many shifts did you?
Cool place to play
Do you
your
know?
first
Do you know?
game.
Do you know what's funny is I don't know if it's your first game, your second game. You played 3, but I was at Lisa's mom's in Michigan, and I was watching a game. I think you play the Red Wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were playing the Red Wings, and I was
Were
watching
you
the
just
game.
motherfucking the TV?
No, I wasn't. I was like, "Oh my God, Bruce, you did it, man. You're playing." And I was like, and I was watching every move, and I was like, "God, like get it deep, like go." Yeah, I was cheering my gosh darn heart out, like, and people like wondered like who I cheer for now, like what teams. I'm like, I just want my friends to do good, and now I don't have any
Yeah.
friends to play hockey. But like when I watched you play in the NHL, man, it just made my heart so full. And I'd to have been in
Yeah.
Dayton with you and then see you playing for Columbus, and like to think of like the guys that were the first round picks and the guys that were the second round picks and the way they were treated compared to the way
Yeah.
you were treated and the way you went to Dayton off the hop and worked your way up to it, man. It's an incredible story. It really
I
is.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I
Well,
appreciate it.
it's real.
No,
You
it
did
was,
it.
I mean, I was, like I said, there's a little bit of luck along the way. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but yeah, it was unbelievable. I was in disbelief, but it was like funny once you start playing, once you get like kind of the nerves out of the way, it's like then you just feel like
It's just a normal hockey
I
game.
like, yeah, it's just natural, and it's just like, oh, I feel like I could stay here. Like I want to keep playing. Um, and I don't. It was first of all, I got called up, and like Columbus was already out of the playoffs and stuff, so but it's, so I think they're calling everybody up, but still I got called up. So
No,
that's
man, like they meant
still can be kind of a claim to fame. But what I was gonna say is like I think I got sent down for, no reason. It's just like they want to give somebody else a chance, basically. But yeah, it's like even like that the second game, I was like, God, this isn't that different. It's almost easier in some ways, because there's
because the
not
guys
people
can
running
actually
all over the
pass it on your
place.
tape and all that, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, it was incredible. It was
I think it's really cool
I
you
was
got to do
fortunate.
that, man. Like that you
Yeah,
worked your way up like that, man. When I saw
yeah,
you play it, man, I was like I know that guy. Like he's my buddy. And I'm like, I'm in the second league in Germany toiling away, and I'm like, he's in the NHL. He's like
yeah.
57 years old now.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
So who'd you play? Detroit? Who else?
Um, yeah, played in Chicago first, in Detroit, and then Tampa Bay at Columbus.
Cool.
No, yeah, it was kind of fun playing Tampa because Kenopka was there
Oh,
that
was he?
year. Yeah, he was playing. So it was like
Well, and
we
good
were
for
taking
him
we were
to
taking
like
we
make
were
it.
taking face-offs against each other constantly.
Well, and
Hilarious.
he wouldn't have acted like knew you, right? Like he would have been ready to rip your head off.
Oh, he was doing his shit. He didn't act like he didn't know me, but he was not being my friend. He was just like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fuck it.
Oh yeah.
But then he's laughing after the
No, he was a great dude. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's unbelievable.
So you played your 3 games, and then so you finally get up there after you grind away, and then
Yeah.
I see that the next year you don't even sign with Syracuse again. You're now going to Springfield. So is that a
No,
different?
it was that year. I was with Syracuse again. Um, Columbus changed their affiliation
To
and
Springfield.
to Springfield from
So they gave you
Syracuse,
your
which
3 games the year before, but then you don't get called back up the next year.
no, no, no. I don't even think it was a thought, but yeah, Columbus. It was all Columbus's deal. They changed their affiliation, and it sucked because Springfield is brutal. Um, so
Where's
yeah,
Springfield's?
there was just 1 year in Springfield, but it was still with Columbus organization.
But so that's when you're an assistant captain the year before too, I guess, when you get your call up, and you're an assistant captain then. So is that still the same
Yeah.
coaches?
No, 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 no. Springfield was different. Brad Larson was one of our coaches. Who's great, great dude. Actually, he's great, great coach. He was just getting started, but I think he just got named Columbus's coach now. He was one of our coaches, and then oh, what's his name?
Don't worry about
Having a
it.
brain fart.
It's
Older
okay.
guy. Yeah, doesn't matter. But it
Um,
wasn't Ross and Trent.
okay, that's good because I
Yeah,
they they uh they never really took a shine to me, so it's hard to really root for them, you know. I know they took a shine to you, but they didn't take a shine to me, so it's hard to root for
which
people.
is which is just a shame.
Well, it hurts, you know, sometimes it hurts. But moving on, that year though, you do have a great season again. Um, assistant captain, 29 points. But then you sign a deal with Colby, my son's favorite team, the New York Islanders.
His favorite team is the Islanders, huh?
Yeah, well, Tom Kuhnhackl played for them. So he's from Landshut, Germany. We got some ties there.
Ah,
Yeah. So
okay,
we're Islander fans now.
okay,
Yeah. But you played with
nice.
some guys that like he's taking pictures with now that they're Islanders, like Casey Zizekas. You played with Blair Riley. You were the assistant captain. Geez, you're really doing
Yeah.
it, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good year. It was almost like disappointing though in a way too. Like it was like one point in my career where like a team really wanted me. And so they reached out to my agent or whatever. They wanted to sign me. So I signed with the Islanders on a two-way deal, went to camp, and I had a really good camp. Um, I think I scored in a game against Boston or something, which was rare. But anyways, I just had a good camp, and I honestly thought that I was making the team. And
Did you say you scored
uh,
in a preseason game and like
yeah,
against Boston? You thought you might make the team?
yeah, no, that's what I'm telling you the story.
I
I was
can't wait.
feeling like I was feeling like I was going to make the team out of camp. And uh like I was there like the last week, they sent everybody down. And I was to the point it was like they had to get rid of one more person. And they still had Ryan Strom, who was a young, well, he's still playing, I think, somewhere. But he was their first round pick, and he could still go back to junior or whatever. And so
So
it's
then
kind
you're
of like,
good. You just get his 9
yeah,
games in and you're good.
yeah, but no, they still had to send somebody down, or if they were going to keep him, they had to send somebody down. And so it was kind of just like a toss up that week. It was like the week leading up to the first real game. And yeah, they ended up deciding like they wanted to keep him and play him for whatever it was. I get sent down, and yeah, I never ended up getting called up from there on in. It was like the weirdest. It wasn't, I shouldn't say it was weird, 'cause I didn't play great. Um, but yeah, it was like a situation where it was like
Actually, I think you
I
played.
thought I was like I was going to like the team events and stuff, before like autograph signings and stuff. It was like, am I really fucking starting the year here? Kind of thing. And but wasn't meant to be, I guess. But yeah, Casey Zizekas, he was a rookie that year with me there. And so he got sent down to Bridgeport. But then that year in Bridgeport, he kind of plays the way I did too. And he honestly, I don't he played well. Like, he kind of took my spot in a way because he is young and he could do everything that I could do and better.
Right.
you
And
know?
then he's a penalty killer. He can block
Yeah,
shots. He can skate fast. He gives her. Yeah,
yeah,
I could totally see that. Yeah.
yeah. So
And you
that's
were
kind of how it
right
happened.
there.
But it was fun. It was a fun
But
year.
that you got that
I
close,
was
man.
just
That's
disappointed. But
crazy.
then what's that?
It's crazy. You were that close to like sticking there and like you
I
were in
know,
Dayton
like
with me. Like when you were at Buffalo Wild Wings with me, I never thought any of us were making the NHL. Serious. I really didn't.
yeah, yeah. No, I honestly didn't either. But that, like I was saying, that year in New York, that's when I really felt like, well, what the fuck, I actually am. And I had one of I forget his name, but one of the like assistant coaches or one of the player personnel guys, it's like before I went up for my meeting with the GMs, like when they're sending people down and stuff, he like came up to me and like pulled me aside. He's like, "You're staying." It's like, you made it, man. You're staying here. I was like, "What?" And so then, yeah, I was feeling all high and mighty, obviously, and feeling good about myself. And I don't know, it just didn't pan out. I understand why I got sent down, but I was frustrated that I didn't get called up that year, but there was other guys.
When
that
you had
were
another
playing
good
well.
year, man, you had 28 points in 69 games. Like that's a solid year in the AHL, especially as a third line center.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was goofy. It was goofy. It was still fun. It was a good place to play for sure. I think that organization's pretty good with giving guys chances too. I mean, it was different than Columbus.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we better move
and
on though. You got still a lot more shit to do. We've been doing this a long time. Okay. After that year, and you decide it's time to move on and we're going overseas, I think it's because it's a lockout. Is that not right? Or you would have still been grinding out North America?
yeah, it was the lockup. Exactly. And
And you're
I
what,
still remember I
five
still remember
seasons in?
my like end of the year meeting with like the Islander guys or Bridgeport guys and like them asking like you thinking you want to come back here next year? And this is like before I knew anything about lockout happening. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was pissed off like kind of the
You
way
didn't
the
get a
year
call
went.
up. Yeah.
And so I was like saying like, well, I don't know. It's like I wanna get a chance to get called up or whatever. Um, where I should have said like, yeah, please have me back.
I'm
And
30 now.
yeah, so yeah, anyways, so lockout happened and you know how that goes. It was not easy. I didn't want to go back and play in the coast. I don't know. I was feeling I just in looking back, I probably maybe I should have just went back to the coast for that year and then gone back. But yeah, there was no I wasn't getting like an AHL deal or anything that year.
It's very weird.
So then yeah,
Can I jump in here? It's very
yeah,
weird because we're so different players. You're a penalty killing third liner, and
yeah.
I am if I'm not on your top two lines and I'm not on
You
your power play, I'm pretty well useless to you. It's very interesting that like you're like, well, maybe I should have gone to the coast and played there longer. Like I wish I went to Europe sooner than I did. I
yeah,
wish I went straight
yeah,
out of college.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't I always had in the back of my mind like I would like to go to Europe, but I everything I had heard is like the European hockey isn't exactly gonna fit my style. Like
Right. No, and you're right.
if
You're
they have an
right.
import guy, if they have an import guy coming over, they want him to fucking put up 50
Well,
points
it's all
in
about the leagues you play
60
in.
games.
If they can have a there's only certain leagues that can have players like you.
Yeah,
Most
oh yeah,
leagues can have
exactly.
scorers, but there's not that many leagues that can have a defensive forward as an import.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's why I was never I always had it in the back of my mind, like, yeah, I'd like to go play there for a few years and give it a shot, but I wasn't like in a hurry. But yeah, with that lockout happening, that kind of made my decision for me. And then, yeah, that's when I signed in Austria with Graz, which was, it's an unbelievable city, like great spot. Um, but the hockey side of things is not. I felt like that was a little bit back into date territory.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. But the league is pretty good, and you're treated good, and like I said, the city was great. It's just I don't know. Like Graz was never a team that was one of the top in the league. They're kind of middle of the road or the bottom. Um, they're they're like the rink was okay, but like the locker room and shit like that was probably worse than Dayton or about the same.
Is that it
Um,
must have changed because I see the pictures now. The guy that's the equipment manager there now was the
yeah,
guy in Cardiff with me. And
Really?
they took the Cardiff's captain, my buddy Marty, the goat, and like they took them. They're both in Graz together, and I
Are
see
they?
pictures of their dressing room, and it's like a little bit too prima donna for me.
Really? Oh, then I mean, they have the space. Like all it took was a little bit of renovation and like cleaning it up. I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, it
Well,
was
I guess you played in the
when I was
NHL,
there, it
eh?
was
Maybe you
way
got too
overdue.
high expectations. You played in the NHL.
Yeah, exactly. But then like the fucking coach that we had there was he was fucking terrible.
I actually wanted to talk about your time in Graz.
He was
That was right
awful.
around when I was getting recruited to go to Graz out of Bietigheim, and you had a couple players on that team that I played with. One of them was LaBelle,
Yeah.
right?
And so that's why he didn't come because he didn't
And
want to
then
play with him.
Laton Dress was the other one, played with me in
Yeah,
Bietigheim. So they
yeah,
were both on that team, and I'm pretty sure the coach was French. Those two were French, and right.
yeah, yep. And that was the problem.
I don't think Graz is
The
the
French
same
coach,
anymore.
he was just a pile.
I he came to watch me play in Bietigheim, and I met him after the game, and we chatted for like 2 minutes, and I could tell she was never gonna work.
Yeah, yeah. No, he was. First of all, he loved his Frenchies, but he was not a good coach at all.
Yeah.
So
No, I know. And then like it's like the living with that guy in the hotel room. It's like, well, you have guys like that on a team. It's tough to win stuff, right?
yep, exactly. But
Okay.
I mean, that was it was a good time still. I mean, the hockey portion was
Well, I
frustrating
bet you with
and it
a
sucked,
good
but
coach, a North American coach in Graz, and the way it could be there, I bet
oh my
you they're
God.
living the life now.
Oh God. Yeah, it'd be incredible. It'd be incredible. But I loved playing in that league. I mean, Austria is unreal.
Yeah. And you played your role, eh? And I saw Thomas Vanek played on that team. Is that because of the lockout then?
Yeah, yeah, he did. I forgot about that. Yeah, he played, I don't know, he played 10 games or so. Um, maybe he played more than that, probably. You can look it up.
I don't know.
Um,
I looked it up earlier today. I was busy.
yeah,
Anyways, moving on.
I don't know. Yeah, he played there. He wasn't like he wasn't like a superstar in the league by any means, but
Well, it's pretty crazy how good guys are overseas. Like you don't realize how good there are players in other
oh
countries.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so then you go to
that's true.
Mora, Svensken. We talked
Yes.
about that quite a bit. That's where the concussion happens, but how'd you end up going there? So then the lockout happens, it ends. You don't get any traction in North America, so now you're a European, right?
Yeah. So then I was, yeah, I wasn't really looking after playing in Austria that year. I wasn't really looking to go back to the US really. Um, I just wanted to go to the best spot I could get in Europe, basically. Um, and yeah, the thing with Mora came up, and just talking with buddies and stuff, telling me about the league and whatnot. Uh, I mean that league, I would say, is it's different than the Austrian league, but it's about the same level. Some ways it's better, probably some ways it's worse. But anyway, so I don't know. I felt good about it, and I had a good buddy that was there on the team. Uh, Current Blackhawks coach Jeremy Colleton, who I played with in Bridgeport, and so that was since he was there, I felt kind of good about going there, and yeah, so that's why I ended up there.
Okay. So then
Yeah,
what I guess we're kind of getting to the end of things now, eh? because we've talked
Yeah,
about
I feel like we've
the
been talking for like 3 hours.
I know we have been. That's what everybody keeps saying. Um, like, yeah, it all happens, and then the concussion happens, and then Coventry happens, and then next thing you know, we haven't talked to each other, and I
Oh
don't.
shit.
It's been a long time.
What else are you doing these days besides the podcast?
I have a real job. That's what I do mainly all the
Yeah,
time.
well, that's what I mean. What's your real job? Come here, Justin.
Um, I'm an engineering supervisor.
Hey,
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I met some good people, and we great company. We're a global heat treatment company that does on-site heat treatment. Um,
hey.
so yeah, no, I kind of run the
We
team.
get heat treating done for our business.
Right. So then there you go.
We could be using them. So I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, check it out. Superheat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you playing any hockey?
I don't want to.
No.
No,
Yeah, I don't really want to either.
like at all, actually.
Not yet, anyways.
I would rather
And
watch
you have no itch to coach or anything?
no, I would like to coach my kids. Yeah. No,
Ah.
I like that stuff. I like getting to know their friends. I like to get to know I want to help them. But no, for myself, like to play hockey, no, that's
Yeah.
not really in the cards.
Sorry, I'm eating some ice cream cake
So am I
for
gonna
my
get to meet the
birthday.
wife before we shut this down, or no? Is she staying out?
She's scared.
It's up
Justine, come
it's
here.
up to her. Okay. Well,
She
this
says
has
she
been
can't.
it's okay.
She
This
says she
has
can't do it. We'll meet
uh,
another time, Wally.
I know. Well, hopefully it's in person,
Yeah. Oh,
because you were one of my best friends in the world, and then I just never saw you for like 15 years. Now you're married with kids, and I don't know
yeah,
them.
I want to hear more about you and what the
Nope,
heck
that is
you've
for
been up to the
after
last 10
hours.
years.
And this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Bruce, other known as Trevor, Frischmon, and Wally.